We're going to talk, though, now to Nick Freeman, motoring lawyer and commentator, because there's a story out there currently that says people are so bad at driving that if they had to take the theory test, which I never took because when I took my test there wasn't a theory test, you'd probably fail it. Nick, a very good morning to you.
Morning, Mike.
Now, I'm just looking at the first question because the Telegraph piece here says a total of 1,900 out of 2,000 drivers managed to fail a stripped-down test prepared by a car insurer consisting of 15 randomly selected questions from the actual theory test. Now, I've looked at the first one and I'm already not sure about whether or not I'd get it right. It says you've stopped in an emergency area. What must you do before you rejoin the carriageway? 1, use the emergency telephone. 2, give an arm signal as you're moving off. 3, switch on your vehicle's headlights. Or 4, move away with your hazard lights on. I'm going to go 4, which is apparently wrong. It says you should use the emergency telephone.
Oh, well, I'm with you on 4 there, Mike. and like you, I haven't done a theory test either.
All right.
But I mean, the statistics are really frightening. 94% of drivers would fail, which means they wouldn't be driving, which means they wouldn't have insurance. So clearly, the problem is you take your test when you're 17, and it's a very thorough test now. The theory test has 2 parts. It has a multiple choice, which includes all different aspects: highway code, stopping distance, road safety, things like fatigue, alcohol levels. And then it has a sort of a hazard perception test. So the first test is I think it's about 57 minutes, and the second test is a bit less, but a really thorough test. And what's interesting is that the amount of failure now is higher than it used to be sort of about 2007. So I don't know whether people there are worse drivers now. And this is leading to people actually committing fraud and getting other people to take the test for them, both the theory and the practical test, which is another problem. Well, so I think there's a simple solution, a very simple solution, and that's we renew our driving licenses every 10 years. Wouldn't it be sensible every 10 years to retake our theory test?
I suppose
because
so.
The law changed.
I mean, it sounds, in theory, if you don't mind me saying so, it sounds like a good idea. However, I know that there's a huge backlog currently for people trying to get even any kind of test because, you know, there's just been so much of a backlog since COVID that, you know, there weren't any driving tests being given out. So, I mean, I don't know if the system could handle people taking one every 10 years, could they?
Well, there is a backlog, but we're concerned with road safety, and if we're saying, look, 94% of drivers, current drivers, and you and I have just illustrated, we've got the first question wrong. It must be in everyone's interest, mustn't it, to say, look, the system just doesn't work, to take it when you're 17, 18, and again when you don't even have to take it again at 70. So the law changes, the highway code changes, mobile phone law changes, the law's changing all the time, and you know, I do about 50,000 miles on the road, and I've just got that first part of the test wrong, which I'm really disappointed about, because I would assume I would have got it right.
Yes.
So we learn it every 10 years, and I think the issue is the driving license standards needs to get up to speed. If they're a bit chaotic at the moment, a bit behind, they need to sort themselves out so that they can accommodate this. Japan does it.
Yeah.
It works there, and the statistics show much safer driving there than here. So it's something that I think we have no choice, but we need to do it. And I mean, I can't really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to bring up the subject of migrants particularly, but I mean, one of the problems I think in Britain at the moment is we've got an awful lot of people driving foreign registered cars who have come here from other countries, mostly Eastern European, and they don't seem to have the same kind of driving rules that we have. They don't seem to know what to do at roundabouts. I mean, I see this a lot. They don't seem to know where to stop. They don't seem to know. I notice people pulling out a lot more now than they used to when you're coming down a main road. You know what I mean? It's like people are much less sort of likely to adhere to the regulations anyway.
Well, they're very discourteous. There are, I think, over 1 million drivers who are on our roads, maybe more than that, who haven't actually taken a UK test, and they're not driving foreign vehicles, they're driving English vehicles.
Yes.
But this problem's clearly a much wider problem because the statistics show that it really spreads right across the board to everyone. Right. So it's easy to point a finger of blame. I mean, you know, I'm up and down the motorways all the time, and the number of people who sit in the outside lane at sort of 65 miles an hour, and lanes 1 and 2, maybe 3 are clear, and they won't get over. And I don't think it's that they're not bruising for a fight. They simply do
They
not
just don't
understand
know. Yeah.
no, they don't understand what the law requires them to do.
Right.
And there are very few police on the road and very few prosecutions for driving without reasonable consideration for other road users.
And I was on the motorway. I was up in Birmingham last weekend. I was coming back on the M40. A number of people who come right behind you when I'm doing about 70, 75, which is you're allowed to do, and people just come right behind you, like literally within about sort of 3 feet of your back bumper to get you to move out of the way. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, it is insane, and that's obviously borne out by their frustration. They're probably thinking if someone's travelling at 70 in the outside lane, with the tolerance zone built in, you can probably get up to 78. So what they're saying is, look, if the near side lanes are clear, you shouldn't be in the outside lane. The outside lane is purely for overtaking. And what you often have, and you'll know this, is the outside lanes very heavily congested, and the other lanes are fairly free of traffic. Yeah. And then you get people who are, for want of a better expression, undertaking, cutting up, and then moving back in front. And drivers who are in the outside lane know what they're trying to do, and they try and stop them getting in, which in itself is another dangerous activity.
It's mad. And while we've been talking, I've been taking various different questions on the test. Right, I've only managed to get one right so far. I'm going to finish with one for you. Right, this is it. Where may you overtake on a one-way street? 1, only on the left-hand side. 2, overtaking isn't allowed. 3, only on the right-hand side, or on either the right or the left. What do you think?
A one-way street. I would say you'd overtake on the right-hand side.
That's what I said. It was wrong. Apparently,
but you're not allowed to overtake at all.
No, apparently you can overtake on either side.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, there you go.
I mean, because if I see somebody overtaking me on the left on a one-way street, I'm usually shaking my fist at them, but there we are. Anyway, listen, good to talk to you, Nick. Thanks very much indeed. Nick Freeman, motoring lawyer at Comsay. Bloody difficult, this. Let's see the next one. What does the solid white line at the side of the road indicate? Traffic lights ahead, edge of the carriageway, footpath on the left, cycle path. I'm going to go cycle path. It's wrong. No, edge of the carriageway, apparently. I've only got one right out of about 8. Crikey. All right, next question. Let's do this one. Where are the amber reflective studs found on a motorway? Between the hard shoulder and the carriageway, between the acceleration lane and the carriageway, between the central reservation and the carriageway, between each pair of lanes. I think it's between the hard shoulder and the carriageway, isn't it? No! It's between the central reservation and the carriageway. I'm not doing it anymore. This is ridiculous. I think I'm going to take my car off me at this rate. Anyway, coming up...